The fourth manner of loving was a certain delightful quiet stage in which the Almighty Lord of his free kindness and mercy poured into his beloved's heart, as into a most pure vessel, a certain nectar-like taste of love without any additional effort of body or of spirit, such as we have just been talking about. In this stage, a very strong loving affection, divinely aroused in her heart, bound it so strongly, invaded it so tremendously, and tied it so firmly that Beatrice was, as it were, absorbed, as if it lives while dying, and dies while it feels the pain of hell. All its life is hellish misfortune and affliction, because of the horror of this dreadful desire, which it cannot neither satisfy, nor appease, nor calm. The soul must remain in this torment until the hour when our Lord consults it and places it in a different manner of love and desire, and in a closer knowledge of himself. Then the soul should do as our Lord allows it. Our Lord is also accustomed to give other manners of loving, at one time with great pleasure, but at another with great sorrow. I wish to speak of this now. Sometimes it happens that love is sweetly awakened in the soul, rising up with joy, and flows in the heart without any human collaboration. And then the heart is so touched with tender love, is drawn towards love with such desire, is embraced so cordially by love, is subjected by love so strongly, and is held in love's embrace so lovingly, that it is wholly conquered by love. In this, the heart in the abyss of charity, and made wholly celestial because of the excessive abundance of spiritual sweetness, all the affection of her heart took on in some way a celestial nature, like a little drop of water running down into the vast expanse of the sea and immersed in the ocean of eternity. Not a flood of words, but only personal experience will explain to those who want to know what spiritual sweetness, what blessedness, happiness, and happy delight Beatrice tasted in her mind, and with what a fire of ever-fervent love she glowed in this stage, the supreme beauty of love, which surpasses human understanding, so allured her mind, so attracted her with all her affections to itself, so embraced and swallowed her into the bosom of its unlimited depths, that she relished nothing but love. She noticed nothing but love. She spoke of nothing but love, and in her works she showed forth nothing but love. In this stage, the holy woman's affection was so tender that she was often soaked with the flood of tears that melted from her heart, and sometimes, because of the excessive abundance of spiritual delight, feels a great closeness to God, a substantial clarity, a wonderful delight, a noble liberty, and a ravishing sweetness, and a great impulse of stronger love, and an abundant fullness of greater delights. Then it feels all its senses sanctified in love, its well turned into love, and so deeply immersed and absorbed in the abyss of love that it, the soul, is made wholly into love. Love's beauty has consumed it. Love's strength has eaten it up. Love's sweetness has immersed it. Love's greatness has absorbed it. Love's exaltedness has raised it up, and so united it to itself that the soul must wholly belong to love, nor should it love anything else. When the soul feels itself in this superabundance of delights, and in this gratefulness of heart, its mind is wholly immersed in love, and its body is withdrawn from itself. The heart melts away, and all its power is consumed. So conquered is it by love that it can scarcely sustain itself, and loses its power over its members and senses. And just as a full vessel flows and spills when it is suddenly moved, so at times a soul is very quickly moved, and totally overcome by the great fullness of heart. so that in spirit of itself, it must often spill over. She lay languishing and sick in bed, deprived of all her strength. As often as she was interiorly troubled by this kind of love, she was greatly concerned to conceal what she felt inside, lest it be noticed by others during that time. Wonderful to say, she willed not to listen, or could not listen to anyone speaking about God, lest that superabundance of His love should perhaps become known through some signs. How often this used to happen when she attended sermons or conferences, or also when she herself spoke of something edifying. Just as a vessel filled with liquid spills what it contains when it is only slightly pushed, so it happened frequently that Beatrice, pushed as it were, would let spill out by many signs of holy love which she felt inside, or else she would undergo a kind of paralyzed trembling, or would be burdened with some other discomfort of languor. Of